Hello everyone, Nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, we're going to be checking out the two events or tournaments, excuse me, that have kicked off today. Champion Training to win the iconic Fire Knight skin for Newt, and another Dragon Turn Attack, the second of these Turn Attack tournaments. So let's look at the Champion Training one first. You can see I am already doing this, and just trying to knock it out. Actually, in terms of the rewards, on the right-hand side, these aren't too bad, right? This chest, it's got kind of junk in it, not really that worthwhile, but 5 of the small essence, 1 pull of the prism shard, and a legendary skill tome. These are pretty decent. So if you are in a position, so for example, if you won clan versus clan, probably a decent idea to do that champion training tournament if it's going to be possible for you. Even just going in and, ranking up 1, 2, 3-star food, getting them ready for the next champion training and building up points that way. It's a pretty decent thing. You do have almost 4 days total to do this, so it's a great way to get a legendary skill tome. And hey, getting a prism shard's a little bit of fun along the way, so I actually quite like this. In terms of actually winning, I mean, there's really good rewards. 6-star legendary relentless, a legendary tome, etc. If you do win, you can see, at least in my tournament group, the fighting is already pretty fierce. Let me know. Let us know in the comments. What are the top people in your groups putting up? Like, what are people up against? Kappa America here was actually in the lead for a lot of it. He's now actually been overtaken by this guy, SLD something. Who knows? Who knows what his name is? But I think this is going to be a pretty brutal fight. People are going to really want this Newt skin because he's such a powerful champion. So yeah, I'm expecting the final score to be 50,000, maybe more, would be my guess. I think it's going to go way beyond this, so really do bear that in mind. You might get a very easy group and might be able to win, but if your group's anything like mine, I'd be expecting like 50k at least, something pretty brutal. For the Dragon Turn Attack then, so this one's not too bad. What do we have in this bronze chest? Kind of junk, not much that's good. So the rewards, again, are pretty similar, right? This prism shard, in terms of the value, right? Again, in terms of value, these prism crystals are something like, they're worth about 4 ancient shards. You might say they're worth less if you feel like it. You might say they're worth 3 or even 2. Either way, it's still a pretty decent reward compared to what's normally going on, right? Considering they sell these for $5, to get one from the top of this isn't too shabby. There are also more up for grabs if you win. Again, I think that's going to be pretty tough. Like, this is going to be pretty tough, and you're going to have to make that decision. Do you go for the safety of, and I would recommend the safe option here. I would recommend, if possible, if you've got enough energy, if you won personal rewards, you got some extra energy, trying to complete champ training, and then coming in and trying to complete Dragon Turn Attack, but not looking to push any real further than that. That's probably the safest way to go. You could try to win one of these tournaments, but it's always a risk that you're up against someone stronger and might lose. So that's up to you. But again, I think the rewards in there are fairly decent, and Turn Attack is not too bad. We also have got triple speed for 2 days and 22 hours remaining. So this is why I'm saying to look at the champion training today, then switch into Dragon maybe tomorrow. Part of that is this Dungeon Divers event. It's going to be better for running the dungeon. That starts in 20 hours, 24 minutes. You could, of course, run a lower stage of Dragon with some food in there. It's going to hurt your Turn Attack time, though. Bear that in mind. Great thing about Turn Attack, it actually turns out, surprisingly enough, actually, here we go, that you don't actually lose that many points for being a little bit slower. It's actually not that punishing. So even if your team isn't super quick, even if your team isn't amazing. So for example, let's run a quick Dragon here. My team is not amazing, like 40 turns for me. It's fairly slow. The sort of Poison Explosion team I threw together on the test server, and I haven't bothered upgrading it. If you want to do it faster, you obviously can. You can use champions like Riho. You can use champions like Staltus. There's definitely ways to do it that can get through it faster. I could probably use Seer and get through the waves faster. I haven't bothered too much, but that's the nice thing about these Turn Attack tournaments. We'll see how many points we get at the end. That even if you do it pretty slowly, you're still going to get some fairly decent points out at the end of it, and it is still doable. So yeah, you don't need the fastest team in the world to do it. It's obviously better if you do. It's going to take you much less time. But if you just want to come in and get those, the guaranteed rewards down the right-hand side, this works fairly well. So Yeah, we'll come up against the boss. We've got a Yumiko. She actually reflects a lot of the poisons and stuff that the boss, here we go, boss debuffs us. She throws those poisons back, which is pretty cool. Calvalax is not booked. He's mostly just there for his passive. We have Elenarl to explode the poisons on the wave. And then we've got Pythion and Mithrala to get us through. So you could, like, Pythion and Mithrala will basically do the boss together. Then you could just bring in some wave clear and a reset. Like, you could use a Seer and a Renegade, for example. And then maybe something with poisons to help kill the boss, you know? You have that flexibility. There's lots of stuff you can do. Like I said, this is not the best team. It's not going to be our best turn count either. It's looking more like 50 or so turns. Yeah, something like that. I mean, when the dragon takes a turn here, we should win. 48 looks like. 49. Cool. So it took us 49. We still got 60 points. Really not bad. If you do it in like, what's it, for the spider turn attack? I was doing it in 5 turns and getting 82 points. So for the sake of, like, if you take that as a comparison, right? Yeah, we're losing maybe, let's say, losing roughly 20 points by having a very suboptimal team compared to the best stuff you could do. I think you can clear this in probably about 20 seconds and probably about 12, 15, something like that turns, I think, would be some of the faster runs. We're way below that, but we're still getting good points. It's still respectable. So yeah, there you go. You can still do it. And 3x speed is pretty good. 3x for dungeon drops is a good bit better than 2x dungeon drops. Unfortunately, like the sets in Dragon are pretty poor. They're not great, but speed is certainly good. And yeah, if you can get into hard mode, you can get mythical pieces that can be really, really good. So yeah, hunting down that speed gear, it's actually fairly decent to do. But like I said, as you can see from mine, I would recommend personally, if you're sort of medium on energy, you've got enough to do the events but not enough to win. Man, he's already shot up to 9,700. Whew. I would recommend doing champion training mostly today and then swapping over into Dragon mostly tomorrow and for the basically the rest of 2x speed if possible. That would be my gist. And I doubt there's going to be too much else on over the weekend. We haven't seen anything else, so it's always possible, but I don't think so. I think these 2 tournaments are going to be taking up most of the next few days. But that's it, right? I'll see you guys in a bit. There's probably going to be some news around Call of the Arbiter or this Summon Rush event, so I'll catch you for that. I think that just about does it for this video. We absolutely smashed Clan versus Clan, by the way. I think it's my first ever 4 accessory win, so pretty happy about that. We've got the big chunk of energy, which I've been slamming into champion training. Final tip, of course, just in case you forget, that may or may not help you with this or scare you off, is, of course, it's a relatively new thing with champion training tournaments, and only tournaments. Skill tomes will give you points, right? You can get skill tomes, points from skill tomes. So if somebody has saved stuff up, you could sort of blast it right here. Most likely you spent these for Clan versus Clan, but you could be going up against someone that will buy these or someone that has them saved up, didn't need to use them, and that could be pretty scary. So yeah, again, check out my champion training video I did recently, which will break down how to just do it efficiently with low star things and get it done just as efficiently as possible. But that will do for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you all if there's some news later. See you all then. Goodbye.